this week with someone you're truly, truly going to love to listen to call into. James Peterson is his name. Living Your True Heart, and name of this show, and all of James' links that you can find here, YouTube, Facebook, are linked up here on the show page. And if you want to call in to speak to James, just dial into the number 347-884-8245. We'll go into callers a little bit later into the program. So let's welcome James to the show. Welcome, James.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you aboard. It's your first show here. And so why don't you tell the listeners what you do and what the show's about? And yeah.
Well, what I can say is I work as a clinical social worker. However, I have a program called Living Your True Heart. And I just was continuing to post on Facebook and connect with all these people all around the world. I just love meeting all these people all around the world from all their different belief systems. And what was happening was getting more and more difficult to maintain a connection and communicate. So I thought, you know what? I want to find a way to dialogue with these people I'm talking with. So I thought this would be a great way of doing it. So living your true heart to me is just so important, because what it is a great way of taking everybody of all different belief systems, all different walks of life, and helping to go into that one heart that we all share. And really, it's letting go of judgments, letting go of all these conditions and definitions, and really going back into our heart. So for me, it's just a great way of us all connecting with each other in a way that's really about the love inside us, this peace inside us. So I love to be able to share that with people. And what I was doing, I was waking up every morning around 4 or 5 in the morning before seeing my clients at 7 and saying, I'm going to do a post. I'm going to send this out to like 50 different groups. And I would get all these responses from all these people, but I couldn't talk with them. I had no way of being able to dialogue with them because I'm going to work, a few minutes later and getting home at 8 o'clock from seeing clients. So I said, I want to take 1 hour a week and just dedicate to talking to people all around the world about living their true heart. So what I want to do today is I want to really acknowledge that we're talking to people all around the world. So everybody that's listening, just understand that there's people all around the world in all different life situations with all their own challenges, all these ways they're trying to live their spiritual path, and we're all doing our best. We're all doing our best. And another thing I want to make very clear is that we're all equal. We're all equal. These ways we make ourselves more by our jobs, by how we look, by our age, but whatever else we say, this is more, I'm more. When you go back to that place of the true heart, we all are equal. We're all beautiful exactly as we are. And truthfully, we're all walking our path. We're all walking our path back home. So what I look at is that we all are on a path right now in our lives. Whatever we're doing, whatever we're going through in our jobs, in our relationships, with our kids, with whatever's happening in our life, we're all walking our path. And we're going to be faced with certain challenges, but that's our path. And it's about how we respond to those challenges. So I counsel people that have had traumatic brain injuries. And these are people that have lost every single thing in one moment by having a stroke. They lose the ability to walk, the ability to talk. And they have to find out what's really real about themselves inside themselves. So that's what I want to talk to our listeners about. That's why I've made a commitment to do this every single week for the next year. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this show.
So I'm feeling that I like this guy, and I don't think he's ready, and I feel that I'm having a difficult time letting him go and moving forward.
Wow. So what I look at is that this is the time where you have to go into your own heart and say, okay, what is real for me? What is it right now that this is on my path right now, that this person's in my life, and what do I think about where I want to go next on this path? I mean, do I want to continue with this person? Can I maintain my integrity in myself and be in this place of love in myself with this person? So without really knowing the whole relationship, what right now do you feel is really challenging you?
Well, it's really hard for me that I have heartaches. Like I'll get like an emotional heartache, and I've been having these. What's really hard is for me to accept the situation as it is. And but what I do is I tend to focus on it too much, especially when I'm not working. I focus on it too much.
Yeah. Well, what I call that is it's like going outside of yourself, and you go outside of yourself because you're looking for a certain outcome or or some confusion you have. And what's so important is to go back into yourself. Go back into yourself. Back to that place where you have peace in yourself with or without that person. I mean, I've been through a lot of relationships myself, and what I see is it's so easy to get pulled out of yourself because what you think you're going to get from the relationship or what you think you have to be for that person, and to go back into yourself and find that peace in yourself is that way of going back home to you and that place of being centered in your own heart. So,
okay.
So, Mike, I just want to say something
Go
about
ahead,
this.
James.
When I think about all these people, again, listening to me, I know we're all dealing with relationship situations, and our relationships are so critical to our spiritual growth because they help us to understand these ways that we get stuck, these ways that we're still looking for things outside of ourselves. And they're great learning lessons, and they're really teaching us, okay, what is my real heart? How can I get centered in my own being? How can I continue to walk my own path and be with people and learn and grow without getting stuck? Because we all have a path we're walking, and this path is a very beautiful path that our soul chose coming into this life. So because of that, for us to be able to continue to maintain our own personal integrity, our relationships help us to do that, to help us to remind ourselves, I need to go back into myself. I'm getting confused here. I'm getting lost. Go back to my center. So always going back to our center, going back to our true heart.
And Moani to the program.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm really good, and I love the subject that you have, that you're talking about. It's so important for all of us. It makes me so happy, actually, that you're exploring this territory with everybody.
Oh, it's a great blessing for me, too.
So I have something going on, and I wanted to know what you had to say about it. So, I recently met somebody, a man, and, I was realizing that he has the same look and characteristics and sort of even just like the same essence as a best friend of mine who was a girl who we're no longer friends. A boss I had like a long time ago, even like the same teeth. It's so weird to me. And maybe let's say 4 people I've been with as a friend or some association that has like the same essence. What is that about?
Well, that's really interesting because there's a way in which everything that happens in our life is part of our consciousness. And there really is nothing outside of our consciousness. So what happens, you have a lot of the same people with the same characteristics being brought to the surface to you to be able to face in some way. Because really, very often it's about our relationship with ourself. What does this relationship with this other person represent is my relationship to myself. So really looking at it, paying attention, which is great. You're paying attention. You're seeing something. There's a pattern. That's great. Now it's going to bring you some more. It's going to bring you more awareness.
Yeah, because my best friend, she was my best friend for like 14 years. We used to always laugh at each other and say, "If you were a guy, I'd marry you." Right? And now here's this person that's like her in a man's body. He doesn't act like a girl or anything, but you know what I mean. It's like this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what does this mean? This is crazy.
Wow.
And it came over me like in a wave.
So again, it's a reflection of what's going on within yourself that's being reflected outside yourself, and that's consciousness. I mean, if we really look at all our lives, it really is our consciousness that we're constantly experiencing with other people and other relationships. And again, they're being brought to our attention for a reason. So again, what that reason is, that's going into your own heart and saying, okay, what is this all about for me? How do I feel when this is happening? And what opportunity do I have right now with this person? So I would
right, what opportunity, okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
So what I would suggest, just kind of look at that perspective, say, what is this opportunity with this person? I want to choose to explore this opportunity to learn more about myself and help myself to grow.
Okay, because a lot of people say, you date, when you don't get over something, you're dating the same person, and so it's not necessarily negative.
Well, everybody's always going to have their opinions about what you do because people have their own perspective on it. The most important thing is that you do what's right for you in your own heart. So
okay.
So I hope I hear you call it another time. We'll talk more about what happens in the future. I'd love to hear more about how things turn out.
Okay. Oh, great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
That was such a pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.